Hey,
A lot of buzz.
that's good. Hi, and welcome everybody to DisruptEDtv. And my name is Al Cini.
My name is Joe Osamendi.
And our guest, this is a program actually, DisruptEDtv. This particular episode is about the program
Exactly.
DisruptEDtv. And our guest today is a very close friend of Joe's and mine, and a guy that we couldn't do this without. Richard Allen. Rich Allen is the principal of Poseidon Early College High School.
That's correct.
And also our guest advisor and our topic advisor. And
Educational consultant.
Yeah, and he really represents for us the educational community, which is really representing all of you. So, Rich, from your point of view, what is it we're trying to accomplish with this program?
What we're trying to do is not do business as usual. Not that it didn't work, but I think everybody will agree that we can do better. We have students in the classroom that haven't really met the potential yet. I always say that the definition of potential is you haven't done anything yet. And for a lot of our students who are just sitting at the end of their chair listening to the teacher, they're not doing anything. They have an education done to them. And what we're looking to do is having them become part of the educational process. We want to disrupt the way we used to do it and come up to a new paradigm for teaching and learning.
Yeah, that's great. Now, by disruptive, we don't necessarily mean in the traditional sense disrupting education. What we're really doing is trying to inject some innovation into a process that could use a few new ideas. Is that right?
A key is innovation.
Okay.
Teachers have some great initiatives and that they want to bring into the classroom, and we're just trying to give them permission and also some guidance on how to do it. And sometimes with innovators, they think they're all alone. And with a show like this, they find that there are other people just like them. People want to do the things they're doing or have experience doing it. And they can reach out to them. They can reach out to the program, to the host or to the administrators here at the DisruptEd, and get some ideas, or even to use this show as part of your professional learning development plan in your school to start your professional learning community discussions, or if you have a professional learning network that extends throughout the country, you can have this as the core to a beginning of a conversation, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram. This can be the beginning of that professional learning.
I'm really glad you brought that up. Because at the other end of this table we have a pad and a pen. We don't usually hit people over the head with that, but really what we're trying to do is to create a virtual professional learning community, a professional development session in any school that wants to tune in to learn any particular idea.
That's right.
And the point of those ideas is that any ordinary teacher can benefit by them. We're not trying to change all of education.
Right.
We're trying to do that one teacher, one administrator at a time.
Well, what I like about this show is to bring a Tracy Severance into your school. There are budget considerations, or a Dr. Bob Price, or a Corey Radish. You want to bring Eric Scheniger in or Trish Rubin. There are budget considerations. But with this show, you could Skype Don Wettrick into your school to talk about the Genius Hour. You could Skype in Dr. Kathleen Pierce from Rider University and talk about DisruptEd. I'm sorry, not DisruptEd, but Shakespearean. I'm sorry, I got DisruptEd on my mind. But talk to Dr. Pierce about doing Shakespeareans in your school. You could Skype in Dr. Monica Shealy from Rowan University and talk about a mentoring program for for some of your teachers to get them to become more effective in your classroom. Now so it's not you're not bound by budgets anymore because you're connected to the world of education.
You're connected to educators who can really help you become a better educator. And I think we've already spoken. We've done several programs now, so we're kind of catching up on our pilot program after we've had some experience with it. We couldn't have found these guests without you, and Joe and I really appreciate everything you've done. What kind of response are you hearing from the guests who've appeared on the program?
They call me just this morning. Dr. Bauer, I'm thinking Andy Bauer, Dr. Sandy Anthony called. She absolutely loved it. It was an opportunity for her to talk about what she's passionate about, and she got a chance to share. There's no other show like this where the guests get to talk about what they're so passionate about. Oftentimes you're pigeonholed into a conversation as a guest speaker or as part of a topic when these great educators have so much more they want to share. And I know that the viewers are going to get the same thing out of it. They're going a chance for them to listen to somebody who they revere and they really respect in education, and hear them uncensored, unfiltered, really talking about their passion and seeing these people passionate about what they're doing, and knowing that they have a peer in a community of educators.
And somewhere, anywhere in the world, who might have an idea that maybe could help me here in New Jersey or up in New York or down in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
Do a better job teaching English or a better job teaching math.
Or better job administration.
Or an administrator.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Administrator
So I think
for everybody.
And from my point of view, I think one of the things I'm most impressed by is that some of our guests are not what you'd call well-known figures. They're just great, passionate educators.
Right.
And and it's possible for anybody to be a guest on the program if they have an idea they feel they want to share that has worked for them.
Right.
That has helped them make a difference.
Right. I was talking to Mark Natanagara, who Dr. Natanagara is one of your guests, and he said, I hope I didn't come off too strong, and he's a very humble man, but what he has, the secrets that he has for success, really ought to be shared. And here's an opportunity for a humble man to speak humbly to you too about the things that he believes are important without, they're not drilling it down. Oftentimes schools will bring in a guest speaker or a program, and that has to become then for the next year or two the program. And here, because of the variety of guests we have and the diversity of the guests, you can pick and choose that which works for you.
Right.
You're not committed to one person. If what you hear from Dr. Natanagara is not something you want to do, you might listen to a video or watch a show with Dr. Michelle DeBundo, and say, well, okay, maybe that's what I want to do. And if that's not something you want to do, something that Dr. Severance, or maybe a combination of everything. Saying I'll take a little bit of everything because that might work for me.
That's great. I know what we want to do ultimately is build a library of programs that people can incorporate into their meetings with a whole bunch of topics that we can discuss. And when we're about to take a break, when we come back from that break, I want to talk to you more about where you see this going. And we're going to talk about how many guests you've got booked.
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about
Please
that.
do.
Yep.
We'll be right back with more DisruptEDtv.
Okay.
Thanks. Great. Welcome back, everybody, to DisruptEDtv. My name is Al Cini.
My name's still Joe Osamendi.
And this guy is Rich Allen. And you won't believe how many people he's got lined up to appear on the program. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, last week when we spoke, we had about 88 people on the list. Not about 88. You don't have about 88. I had 88.
Now, the week before that, we only had about 60 people.
So we have over 100 people, 100 educators that are looking forward to being part of the show.
Okay.
They're excited about it. They're excited about having a forum where they could talk about their area of passion, their niche. I wrote once about passion-driven education. We talk about content-driven and student-driven and teachers-driven. But I think there's a place for passion-driven education. I think if when the teacher's passionate and the students know it, they'll learn. They'll want to learn. When they know you're passionate about it, they become passionate too. So, and we have passionate educators that want to be part of the show. And some are people are in the classroom all the time, every day. Others are working at the college level as deans or as adjunct professors. Some are outside. We have the sheriff of Monmouth County is going to be one of our guests and talking about some of the programs that they have for students, looking at prevention first and some of the behavioral health programs where they bring mindfulness into the school. All different theories and different programs that enhance the educational program of the school. Partners in education, if you will, like DisruptEDtv is a partner in your educational programming.
That's right. It's funny you mentioned the Monmouth Sheriff's Department, which we'll be interviewing. That's obviously here in New Jersey. But any school anywhere can learn from that program how they can develop a relationship with their local law enforcement organization to create programs like that in their communities. And I think that's the other thing too is it's not about us. It really is. I mean, I think we're proud that we've tapped into this energy because the energy is wonderful. But it really is about all these stories that people want to tell
Sure.
about the joy really of teaching.
And the stories about people who want to who never knew how they can get involved, or thought they should get involved, or could get involved. And through the stories that we're going to hear and the people that you meet in Disrupt Ed, you know that there are people out there dying to give. They just want to know how. You know, they know what they want to do, and they know why they want to do it, and this gives them the how. You know, I know Simon Sinek talks about the why, and we're showing them the how, which is the next step to the why. You know, I think of behavioral health systems or Society for Prevention of Teen Suicide. And I said, but why is that disruptive? Well, if a student doesn't feel comfortable in school, they're not going to learn. Well, you bring in food services, and if the student's hungry, they're not going to learn. If you're bringing in behavioral health, then you're making them feel comfortable, or teaching them how to do mindfulness, how to prepare for tests. And the students will become successful when they know that there are support systems out there. And they are available to many of these programs work by grants, so there's no cost to the schools. And they want to be they want to partner with you. And with school budgets being what they are, you know, hiring professionals to do it, it's almost unthinkable. But you know, to know that there are programs that are willing to slide right in and become partners with you is an exciting thing. It's an exciting time for education.
That's exciting, and it sort of gets us into a discussion of the format of the program. Every Disrupt Ed is based on an innovative idea, disruptive, something that could change the experience of education for the learner, for the teacher, for the administrator. For everybody. So it really is about the idea. The guest brings the idea. But the goal is to try to get that idea and germinate the entire educational community with that.
I'll give you a great example. There's a school district that has a deaf ed program, and I said, well, would a community have that many students to warrant a program? Well, what this school district did is it became a receiving district for deaf ed students, so that their students in their community would be able to work side by side with other students just like them. So it makes them feel makes them feel comfortable. They have a community now, and as a community, they feel more comfortable becoming part of the school. And that program became revenue generating for the school, so they could pay for their teachers. That's innovative. That's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And but there are programs like that, cooperatives, where colleges and universities are teaming with high schools to work on a third project, you know, outside of the school with businesses. Like, well, you met with Dr. Tom Berkey from Brookdale on the TIM program. So they're reading math, science, and social studies and history outside the classroom, working on real life, authentic problems and problem solving, and they're doing it for free.
And in the community.
In the community.
I mean, not just in the school, but actually out there in the community among the people that can benefit.
Just so many ideas that the people are going to be exposed to. That they never would have seen or heard about
They never
before.
would have. They would never have. I mean, that's if we're serving any purpose at all, that's really the purpose we're serving. And it's really exciting to be a part of that. I know. So taking this forward, I mean, if you see where this goes, I know that we talk about education in the broad sense, lifelong learning. So we're going to be looking for guests who can talk about K through 12, who talk about college education, graduate schools potentially,
adult
maybe
education.
even adult education for sure. I mean, that whole world, and also special ed, isn't that right?
Sure. Or, you know, or you could say it's pre-K to 16. You know, where college is like Poseidon, early college high school, where it's an early college high school students are graduating with their 2-year degree. And those schools, thanks to Brookdale Community College, are growing exponentially. But I got a call from a school district down in South Jersey who's teaming up with Cape Community College, I believe it's called, in South Jersey to start this early college high school movement. So we're not talking about K to 12 anymore. We're talking pre-K, some wonderful pre-K programs, all the way to high school students graduating with a college degree at the same time. You know, they're continuing their education. Or some of the work they're doing right here in the county, where they're trying to expand the special ed program for students with autism to give them an extra year so they can learn how to transition. Oftentimes with some of the special ed programs, they come to the age of graduation, they graduate and they're gone, and there's no transition. How do you transition into the real world?
That is so important. I mean, that whole idea that the school day ends at 3 o'clock, the school year ends in May or June. That's an old idea, really.
Sure.
I mean, the truth is education was on all day,
Right.
on the weekends. It's a little hard to imagine sometimes, and even beyond the end of the school year.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
those transitions are very important to address.
And well, you had Sandy Anthony on here talking about online learning, and we're always looking to extend the school year, but that means you have to pay teachers, and which means you have to disrupt their life if they're going to work in the summer. Because,
Sure, they can.
that's difficult to do, and then to get one teacher for every subject. Well, why not incorporate that online learning?
Right.
So
Create
it's
a culture of learning during the summer. Where kids can keep learning even though school is out.
and even after hours too.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
true.
why does school have to end at 2 or 3 o'clock? And why can't you introduce a new subject, a new discipline after hours?
And make that opportunity available to somebody who wants to learn it. That's great. That's so
We have to
powerful.
transition to our next break. We'll be right back
That's
with
right.
Rich.
Transition to a break. We'll be right back.
That's
Right
it.
back
There you
with more
go.
DisruptEDtv
Absolutely.
and more Rich Allen. Without a hitch, which is amazing. So that's great. Welcome back, everybody, to DisruptEDtv. My name is Alcini.
I'm Joe Osamendi.
And this is Rich Allen, and we were talking during the break about how our intention is to make sure that DisruptEDtv remains free forever to the people watching, that's viewers like you, and to the people who appear on our program, the guests with the great ideas that you can use to make your school a better organization. But in order to pay for that, we need sponsors. And I want to ask you, Rich, on the subject of sponsorship, what does a sponsor get from a program like DisruptEDtv?
Well, but what the sponsor will get is somebody who is committed to them too. Knowing that you're supported by the business community it encourages you to want to do more. Businesses want schools to succeed because we're the incubator spaces for Uber and Airbnb and the Alibabas and Facebooks of the world. The new ones coming up. So they're looking to education to produce that. I always say that it's if you knew that the first person to walk on Mars was sitting in your classroom, would you be teaching the same way?
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Great question.
Yeah. And so are we doing the best? Are we providing the best for the students? And do we have the resources to do it? And to learn, to become a better professional in the classroom shouldn't be dependent on your budget, but it is.
Right.
But here with DisruptEDtv, it's your learning, it's your professional learning is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can watch it anytime because it's on demand. And so you have, thanks to the sponsors, thanks to the businesses who always want to get involved in education, they're helping to get that professional learning into the classroom. So win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the sponsors and a win-win for the audience. And you know who else it's a win-win for? For the guests, because they have an opportunity to put, and I was saying in a break, that it gives us a chance as guests to kind of coalesce our thoughts, our vision, our mission, and put them, because nobody ever asks us. And now when you call us on a show and say, what do you think? How often do you get a chance to do that? Where other walk of life do you, and what other show do you come in and say, what do you think? Where should we go?
What do you think?
What does it look like?
Where should we take the, it's such an honor for us to be in the room with so many smart people.
Right.
I mean, the smartest guy in the room is always whoever we're interviewing,
Right.
never us.
Right.
And we've learned already so much from them. And one of the things we learned in a recent guest is that what the business community wants, and the real payoff for sponsors is they're looking for people to graduate school as creative problem solvers.
Right.
So so sponsors, one of the reasons why sponsors want to sponsor our program is because they're participating in the creation of that new culture of creative problem solving.
That's exactly correct. And I found a lot of sponsors get several things out of this. As Rich said, it gives them an opportunity to support education in their community. That's very important. The second thing is that many sponsors are affiliated with some of our guests, so that the guests that are on the show are supported by the sponsor. It's important that they get their message out. And thirdly, a lot of the sponsors really have products and services that any educational institution can use. And this is a perfect forum because it is free for these people to be introduced to their products and services. So there's several things that a sponsor can do. The nice thing about the whole show is that the whole program we can do is that we have packages that can fit everybody, any sponsor's budget. But we can also customize it for whatever sponsor, any
Whatever
sponsor
the
wants.
budget might be. So,
Absolutely.
there's some small companies out there with terrific products or services that they like to get out there.
Right, but they haven't
And
got
we have
IBM's
packages for
budget.
them and packages for the larger companies that want to create a presence in this space.
Absolutely, and we've found some very great response from the people I've been talking to. So everybody loves the idea. They love the gifts that we bring. The guests that we have on the show really have great ideas.
They're terrific people.
Yeah,
and
they really are.
Some of them are superstars, but some of them are just, well, they're all superstars.
Right.
But some of them are well known and some are not. And this is such a great opportunity to get an idea out of a school where it might be working and into other schools where it
Right.
might be needed.
And you know what else is an opportunity for all these experts to get we don't assume that they all know each other.
Right.
You know, so here's a chance for them to meet with other people like them and say, well, you know, what's your secret to success? You know, success leaves clues.
Right.
So how are you doing? How are you getting your message across? And you know, we're getting a message across through Facebook and through Instagram and Twitter, our own website for
Right.
DisruptEd, through LinkedIn, and soon that product, that LinkedIn type product from Columbia University,
University,
right? Who are going to be your guests, Kristen and Enrique, are going to be your guests on the show, who are creating a platform just for teachers. So it's kind of like a shock and awe of a message, an educational message to people out there. Whatever form you like best to watch this show, you can. And for the sponsor, you know, they're going to be seen on every available format that's out there for social media.
Yeah,
that's
great.
a win-win for everybody.
That's an important,
Yeah.
you know, and you raised a point because it was something I was going to bring up. But there could be organizations out there that are looking for speakers at an event, and disruption now is something that we're kind of becoming known for, and not because we invented it, but because so many people have brought their inventions
Right.
to us. You're available, Rich, to speak in front of school groups, aren't
Sure.
you?
Well, I think, and all of our guests are, you know, just look at the credits or contact us. I'll be happy to go. But I mean, there's some really talented
heavy
people
hitters
out
that
there.
people would
Oh,
love to-
sure. Yeah,
One of the other things
absolutely.
I'd like to mention about sponsors is in a new show, many times you have to build an audience. This audience is built.
Yeah.
This
This
audience is here. It's out there, right?
It's an audience with a desire, a hunger for information that they can use
Absolutely.
to become better. I mean, I've never met a more enthusiastic community of people who work for a living. I mean, I
Right.
don't want to say a business. Teachers want to be better.
Right.
Universally, that is a fact. I mean,
Right.
I know that. And I haven't met yet a teacher that didn't have his or her heart in the right place. They really want to connect with their students.
You know, when I first was teaching, I was minding my own business. I enjoyed the classroom, and the principal said to me, "When are you going to become a supervisor?" I said, "Well, I like to do in my class, but I like what I'm doing in my classroom." He said, "Well, then wouldn't you want all the classrooms in your department to look like that?" Yeah, you know, you're right. So I became a supervisor, and I tried to affect change in those classrooms. And they came back to me and said, "Well, when are you going to become a vice principal?" I said, "Well, I kind of like what I'm doing." He said, "If you like what you're doing in that department, you really like to do it. Well, you know, just keep building. If you really like what you're doing and you think it can make a change, you can disrupt the educational process to bring something better. You want to continue to grow." This show will help those teachers and administrators who want to continue to grow.
Right.
Want to give them a forum to get the word out there so that they can be invited. You know, Tracy Severance is very well known. Corey Radish is well known, but there are some other guests here have a great disruptive idea that aren't as well known yet. And they're now having the same forum as some of these heavy hitters, these superstars education have. And it gives them a chance to get some exposure worldwide, or actually, you know, internationally, because you know, we're getting some Twitter feeds back responses back from the UK, from Australia, from I'm trying to think of some of the other Canada for sure. The people are watching; they're interested. What is this Disrupt Ed thing? And for the guests, it's our chance to talk to you about how we see the future. Where else what other show do you know gives the guests an opportunity to show you the painting of what the future looks like for them in education once we give the resources to the teachers to grow.
Yeah, that's so great.
Giving them permission to be awesome,
Wow.
right?
Richard, I want to thank you. I know
Thank you.
Joe and I both want to thank you.
Thanks.
You've been a terrific help in getting this program launched.
Thank you.
And And I can tell you from my own experience, it's been a terrific ride already, and I'm
Absolutely.
looking forward to many more of these to come. And I hope that everybody out there will join us for every episode of DisruptEDtv, where every time you'll learn a new idea that could make a difference in your school. And we also hope to hear from you about your success stories,
Right.
things that you've changed, things that have gotten better because of some of the ideas you might have learned from our program.
Come on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on the show.
absolutely.
Maybe talk
Come on
about
the
that.
show.
We would love that. So check the credits. You'll see all the contact information. Visit our website. And thank you all for being such great guests in our program today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good job, guys.
Thank you. Definitely.
Good
Absolutely.
stuff.
Good stuff.